Hey, Red Bearded Wonder here. Here's 5 things that, as a beginner to Grounded, I would have found super useful. Number 1 would have saved my life countless times if I would have known this early on. Hope you find these useful. Hold things and analyze them. This is something that they really never make mention of, but really to unlock most of the base building type items, or at least the initial ones, you need to hold the grass planks and the weed stems. You'll just carry them like you do on your shoulder and go up to the analyzer, and you'll see them down at the bottom left that you can actually analyze those items. This took me a while to even figure out on my own. I kept trying to build things thinking I would eventually upgrade to a level that I could make base building items, but really I just needed to hold the grass planks and the weed stems and scan them. And really those are the only items it applies for, but yeah, it's super useful. This message will pop up once you pick up a dandelion tuft, but before then it never really makes mention of what they're used for or that they're even in the game. But they'll definitely save you from dying and when you're falling from a high place, which I would have really benefited from. But yeah, once you jump off, if you hit the float button, you'll glide down. Extra tip, they're single use. Having to activate or equip mutations. This is something I see a lot of online. They don't really tell you that you need to go activate your mutations or equip the mutations, or if they do, it's not very noticeable. But once you unlock some mutations, you have to go into the menu and go to mutations and activate them or equip them. Initially, you can only do 2 at a time. But as you move on in the game, you'll unlock the milk molars where you can go in there and upgrade that to where you can activate more. So if you go over to the ASL machine and go into the molar section, you could purchase to get up to 3, 4, so on, and have additional mutations. Now this is something I wish I would have done in my first playthrough early on in the game, which is make my way over to Burg L over in the oak tree. And the reason being is in that lab and all the labs, there's a lot of useful things. There's an analyzer, there's some sap, there's fresh water, there's all kinds of good early game things that you could spend time collecting, but it's a lot easier to grab them from here. The other benefit to coming over here is once you talk to Burg L, which is a bit time consuming because this is where they start really giving you information about the story of the game and all that good stuff. But once you talk to him and get your way through all of that, you can make your way over to a hand scanning machine, pick up some raw science and all that good stuff. There's other equipment in here as well that you can use later on in the game, but scanning your hand opens up the ASL machine where you can have a shop to buy additional foundations. You have quests to get more raw science, and some of those quests you do just by playing. Now this is the one I really wish I would have known early on. I died quite a few times in battles, but it's blocking and the perfect block. If you see here, when you get a perfect block, you take 0 damage. You also stun them for just a second. But like if you do just hold block, which is what I was doing initially because I didn't know it had kind of perfect block mechanics. But if you hold block, you will take some damage. As you can see right here, you know, you take a good amount still, and then if you don't block, well, that typically won't end pretty, so definitely work on the block. So that was the 5 things that I wish I would have known when I started Grounded. That number 1 with blocking, man, that could have saved me a lot. Hope you find those useful, and thanks for watching.